Well, I can tell you I only heard of goggles for the first time about 1 hour ago. Now I'm hearing about goggles. So I don't know, Deborah, do you want to discuss that?
So I believe Dr. Fauci talked about this yesterday, but we have in the hospital systems and for exposure have had people using face shields, and I think you've seen them through my tour through the United States and 14 states across the country where the president sent me to make sure that we were combating the virus well on the ground. Tennessee has created special teacher packs to ensure that every teacher has a face mask, a face shield, gloves, and hand sanitizers. And I think we're trying to bring these best practices back to ensure that teachers feel safe in the classroom in the same way that doctors and nurses feel safe in the hospitals to decrease their exposure.
I think when you look at Miami, by the way, or Florida in particular, it looks like things are getting much better. Arizona getting much better, heading in the right direction. Some other areas getting much better. Could be catching on, unfortunately, in a couple of areas we don't know quite yet, but we'll be able to report that soon. But some very big progress being made in some of the states that 2 weeks ago looked like they were going to be quite bad. And some great progress made. All right, any other questions, please?
Tom Howell, Washington Times. Are you concerned at all about the lag time it takes to get a test back? We've heard reports a week or more. Gentleman from LabCorp talked about that a little bit. What's going on there? Has there been improvement?
So we're getting mostly now, we're ordering as many of the immediate tests, which is 5 minutes to 15 minutes, even a little bit less than some cases than 5 minutes. But we're trying to get those tests. We have pretty close to 50%. I call them short-term tests, but we're up to about 50%, which is amazing. The other tests, while good, you have to send them. Then they have to do the work, and they have to send them back. So the process takes long just in terms of delivery. We really are liking the short-term tests where you find out immediately whether or not you have a problem, and that's what we're striving for, but we're already up to approximately 50%. Is that correct, Deborah?
I think with the new antigen tests that are available now to nursing homes, that will really help our turnaround times to get them out more specifically. But you have charged us to get that turnaround time down across the board, and we're working with FDA to make pooling available. The reason LabCorp has been able to decrease their turnaround time so remarkably is they moved to pooling several weeks ago. That's dramatically increasing our throughput throughout the country. And so we really need to call on all the laboratories to learn from LabCorp and others that are doing pooling like the Broad and LabCorp to really increase our turnaround times, to decrease our turnaround times. And we know that it's possible that we can decrease it by at least 50% if all of our laboratories move to pooling. So we're doing as you said, and we're going to decrease those turnaround times.
Good, thank you. And how is LabCorp doing about turnaround?
Yes, so right now, Mr. President, for priority patients, those in hospitals or those in nursing homes and hotspots, within 1 day we can turn them around.
That's great.
For everybody else across the country, we turn those around in 2 to 3 days on average. And we can do 180,000 of those tests per day, and we're still increasing capacity. And as Dr. Burke said, we're going to be doing pooling and multiple other things. So we will continue to work hard.
So then for nursing homes, 1 day and something more than that for everyone else, but 3 days looks like it's a pretty good target.
Yeah, well, on average, 2 to 3 days. So we shoot for 2 to 3 days. So if we can get it to 2 days on average,
that's
even
really,
better.
that's very good. Would be happy with those numbers. And numbers that we are happy with, and we use a certain test around here that goes very quickly, and it's just been recently developed. So we've done an amazing job. Everybody at this table has done really an amazing job in coming up with testing and testing that works. Steve, go ahead.
One issue that has come up is once you do have a vaccine, how do you properly distribute it? How do you get it out quickly to millions?
Well, when we have the vaccine, we have the military all lined up, and the military is going to be doing it in a very powerful manner. These are people that don't usually do vaccines. They do soldiers, and they do lots of other things that frankly are more difficult. But we have our general, and logistically, he's all set. Tony, do you want to say something about that?
That is correct. As the vaccine rolls out, we'll be getting them distributed. And as you probably have heard, we are going to make sure that we do it in an equitable way and it's representative of the populations who need it the most. And we have the standard way that we determine that with the ACIP working with the CDC, but Dr. Collins and Dr. Redfield have put together with the National Academy of Medicine a group that will fortify that decision-making process so that we're making sure that we're very fair and equitable in getting the vaccine distributed properly.
And I think I could have Francis say that tremendous progress has been made on the vaccine beyond anything that we would have thought if you go back 6 months. What do you think?
It is just frankly quite astounding, Mr. President. I've been at NIH for 27 years and director for 11, and I've seen some amazing things happen. But the way in which the whole research community, public and private, philanthropies, everybody has come together to work on this, not worrying about who gets the credit, trying to figure out how to strip away anything that's going to slow things down. And I think all of us, motivated by the fact that this is the most serious problem we've encountered in our professional lifetimes, even a day matters. And so that's why a lot of people look kind of sleepy, because we're all working 24/7, trying to make sure that nothing possibly slows this process down. Yeah, the vaccines, this week is a big week, as you just heard, having 2 phase 3 trials started in the very same day, this past Monday. And based upon very impressive phase 1 data showing that people who got that in the phase 1 trials developed these high levels of neutralizing antibodies that should be very predictive of protection, but you don't know until you actually run the trial in those 30,000 people. By the way, you heard earlier about coronavirus.gov, which is the place you can go to find out how you can donate plasma. There's another thing you can do if you go to that website, which is to sign up to say you're interested in a vaccine trial. And we need people to volunteer for that as well, because we're going to, with these 4 or 5 trials coming along very quickly, each of which needs 30,000 volunteers, that's a lot of people, and we need them.
And Francis, we're working very well with other countries.
We are indeed. And science has always been international, and it certainly is right now. And we work with our colleagues in Europe and the UK and Asia in a way that I think represents the best of the best. And again, everybody recognizes we're all in this together across the whole planet.
Okay, thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.